Welcome to Own It Magazine. My name is Marisa Bludorn. I am the CEO and editor-in-chief of Own It Magazine and Publishing. And I'm so excited to have with me today Dr. Jeffrey E. Berger. He's going to be taking center stage and owning it with us shortly. I just wanted to say to you, we are so excited about celebrating 5 years plus in actuality of our magazine, Own It Magazine and Publishing. Dr. Berger is part of a three triple cover feature. He is on the cover of Own It Magazine, which is our personal, professional, business development magazine. He's also on the cover of our Lifestyles and Leisure Living. Here at Own It, we say all work and no play, no way. So Lifestyles and Leisure Living brings you that play side of the professional and introduces some places that you never thought of going, or you've been, and places in those locations that you've missed or you want to see. And so that's our Lifestyles and Leisure magazine. And then also too, we have the Lit magazine. How can we be publishing all these magazines and all of these books and not advocate for literacy? And so we have the Lit magazine, which just really emphasizes that knowledge is power, but knowledge applied is powerful. So without further ado, I'm going to bring with me today Dr. Jeffrey E. Berger. How are you doing?
Hey, Marisa. Happy birthday.
All right. I'm so excited to be here with Dr. Berger. Dr. Berger, as we dive in, we want to talk about, because not only are you the third time, this is the third year in a row that you are bringing us into and ushering us into the new year, January. You are also one of our contributing writers. So you write inside the magazine, you give us a wealth of knowledge in your area of expertise. You give us a wealth of knowledge every single month and just giving us enlightenment to what it is that you do and what it is that you're advocating for, because that's what we do. We really are advocating for people to take center stage and own it in their life, their career, and their business. And so with that, tell the viewers who Jeffrey E. Berger is. Who are you?
Well, Marisa, that's a great question. And, I am just that simple guy, well, old guy now, older, I'll say, who grew up in the country with big dreams and who got stuck in a system that I believe for decades was a system that was providing a platform for people to thrive. And unfortunately, I came to find out that that's not the case for the masses, And my roller coaster journey of life has taken me all over the place, but it has led me to where I am the CEO and founder of my own company, Abundance and Optimum Wellness. And today I'm a certified holistic coach who's taking a finance-first approach. It's a different approach from a holistic perspective to achieving all-encompassing personal well-being by embracing new ways to true wealth in this modern world.
That's good. And listen, I know for me, I have to keep up. So when you think about all that Dr. Berger is offering, just remember that you offer you also webinars and things like that.
Right.
So people are really, really educated. And so you got to follow them. And so in the January issue, you share about your struggles for many years, grappling with a sense of confusion regarding your core values. We talk about core values a lot because they are the driving force by which we make our decisions. Will you share some of those with us today?
Sure. So during my professional career, it was really in the last 5 to 7 years that I was struggling with most decisions that were being made at the management level, because I was in corporate for 27 years. And, and my true passion when I graduated high school was fine arts. And I actually was pursuing a performing arts career. But unfortunately, I fractured my back doing a rock video in New York, which led me into a more professional career around software engineering. But I struggled more and more seeing the exponential growth of corporate greed, of mismanagement, and very little respect for the employee in the last couple of years, and I just wasn't happy. So while I was exploring my inner thoughts and my inner beliefs, I was looking for change because I wasn't happy. I wasn't getting where I wanted to go because I was being stifled. We take that corporate ladder career, and you go up, and I kept getting hit down, go down, and strive again, and I just wasn't happy with that. So with that, my core values are, the very first one is love, and love. I really didn't understand it. I kind of knew what it was growing up and understanding, but true love is really a foundation for all relationships, whether it's personal or professional. And by cultivating that love and the compassion in that true love sense, um, I have since been able to fully understand that and build strong bonds, strong relationships with others, and create a supportive community because it wasn't until my 60s that I started to love myself, which is once you understand loving yourself is okay, it opens up the doors to unlimited possibilities. So that's the love, and then the second is integrity. And integrity, I get that from my father. For so many years, it's essential to building trust. That's crucial, and credibility. And I wanted people to trust me. I wanted people to, believe in my credibility to being authentic. I try to do my personal best and be truly authentic to who I am and what I'm all about and what I'm sharing, which is really important. Now, sometimes you share things that you get information from different leaders or different perspectives that don't work out. Well, that's a learning experience.
Right.
We have those, and always striving to do the right thing. And so in I would say the last 10 years, it's been a wonderful journey where I've started to earn respect from others, and I'm starting to establish that strong reputation, which has come through with the hard work that I've done. Passion is number three. Passion, just it fuels that inner drive and for my pursuits, and that passion is not only fueled from my innards, but it's also fueled by people like you, people that I'm being associated with and meeting other leaders and meeting other professionals who I feed off of their energy, I feed off of their ambition and the information that they have to share, because it just broadens my scope in regards to what I'm doing. And it helps me to be able to overcome the challenges and achieve my own personal goals. And then the responsibility, I take responsibility in regards to the actions that I take, and sometimes they take consequences, but those consequences turn into learning experiences. As I mentioned earlier, we run into roadblocks, and that's where you don't fall down and stay down. You get up and you learn from that and push through that. And then the perseverance has been really deeply rooted inside of me with regards to moving forward, because I've always wanted to have an impact. And that was one of the struggles in the last 5 to 7 years of my corporate careers. I wanted to leave this world having made an impact, having made a difference in some shape or form, whether it's 5 families, 100 families, 1,000, a million, whatever. If I could change one life to, for them to level up, as we talk about leveling up in your life, whether it's personal, business, or both, that is the key to success, is that perseverance and that drive by staying focused and persistent in what you do and what you want to share. And that I've been able to overcome those obstacles and achieve some of those dreams. I'm achieving the dreams. There's other dreams that I want to achieve, and I'm working towards that. So those are the core values for me, which is the love, integrity, passion, responsibility, and perseverance.
Yes, yes, and it takes all of that, right?
Yeah.
So it's so important for us to take the time to understand our own core values. And this is something that I know we talk about often on It's Your Life, Own It, the platform, in regards to our mindset, our beliefs, how we see the world.
Yeah.
Core values are very important for us to build up those
Mhm.
pillars that
Right.
help us to be sustainable through both the challenging times as well as the times to celebrate. And so I love it. Love, integrity, passion, responsibility, and perseverance. And some of what you said also deals with transfer, right? So you
Yeah.
talked about that's why it's so important to have a network of people around you that will help you, that will be the arm bearers, right? In some
Exactly.
senses that, and it goes to that whole concept of it takes a village, because it does take a village. It not only takes a village for children, but it also takes a village for us when we are adults to keep us sustainable, to keep us thriving and showing up for ourselves. So that's very, very important. And that passion is transferable as long as we're open to receiving it. It's transferable.
Correct.
And I love it how you said that there are consequences, and
Mhm.
that we don't look at consequences negatively. And this is what I advocate for. It's like, don't look at things negatively. Always look at them from what can you get out of this that's going to help you to gain a momentum, gain better character, show up better in life. So we look at consequences always like they're a punishment, but consequences
Right.
are a guide. They're designed to guide us and help us to make better decisions, because when we know that we're accountable, we're not as easily to do something that is not filled with integrity, excellence, and showing up our best. And so it's not always negative, and if we can get past being offended by so much and be open to learning from so much more, I think that we would show up in a more fulfilling way. And that goes over to my next question to you is, you share 3 aha moments that illuminated your path and propelled you towards a life of purpose and fulfillment. What were those moments for you?
Yeah, great question, Marisa. So the very first one was in let's see, it was August of 2015. Was the time that I basically walked away from corporate America. For several years, it was becoming a hostile work environment and very toxic people that were working in. And I just found that as the years went on, and you brought on more responsibility or took on more responsibilities, some of the expectations were just really ridiculous, and working 6 to 7 days. So I experienced my first burnout, and I was actually out on disability for 5 months because of that. And driving back to the first day of work on August 15th, um, I'm driving in, my hands were clutching the wheel, and I could see the whites in my knuckles. And I'm like, oh my God, what the hell's going on here? And my stress level started to peak up again, thinking about I'm going back into this work environment, and I can't do it. So I walked into my boss and said, I'm done. I can't work here anymore, and I'm leaving right now. And she said, you can't leave. You got to give 2 weeks notice. And I said, watch me. Bye bye. So that was the first aha moment, because it was time for me to take control of my life and not be a puppet to corporate America, where you have no say and they control everything that you do, the time you get up, the time you go home, and all of that kind of stuff. So that was the first one. The second one was October of 2018, when I said no to a sixth medication that my doctor wanted to put me on. Why? Because I was having problems from the other five. Go
Mm.
figure. So, and that was a rude awakening for me, because I grew up in a family of type 2 diabetes, and I was type 2 diabetic. And I just, it was at that moment when she said six medication, something just clicked into my head and said, I can't do this. There's got to be another way. And that was really the time that I started to become more aware of holistic options. I grew up, there were doctors in my families, and they all said, "Oh, holistic, it's that foo-foo stuff and that voodoo stuff," and but you know what? Plants were put here for a reason,
Mhm.
and we weren't doing plants, and the drugs were destroying me. And you go back to talked about the consequences, and being on those pharmaceuticals, it really wreaked havoc to my stress levels, my depression levels. And I used to, when I got triggered, I would
Mhm.
and react sometimes volatilely. And I think I can recall 3 to 4 instances where it got physical. Um, but with that being said, now today, well, since so that was October of 2018, but by August of 2019, I'm pharmaceutical free, uh,
Mm.
which has been truly a blessing. I still have to monitor what I'm doing and take care of my health, which is it's a
Right.
lifestyle. You change, but taking that consequences, what I do when I get triggered now, rather than react, I evaluate. It's like, okay, I'm triggered. This is coming to me. Why is this happening to me? What do I need to take away from it? Do I learn something? Do I take it and pass it on to somebody else? So there's that mechanism that I've drilled into me to evaluate versus react. And that's been a true blessing. And then the third one was in August of 2021. It was around that time that there was a massive loss in the stock market, and 401ks were turning into 101ks, and one actually turned into a 0K. So it was a rude awakening, and I was just praying, praying, praying. Please, is there something else that's out there that can help me or help us? Kind of redirect. Fortunately, it was July of 2021. I was introduced to a unique concept, and this is what has taken me to take over our financial career, or our financial future, if you will, because the world of finances are rapidly changing. And there's technologies that are being developed today that were actually started back in 2009, 2010, but today it's on a rampage, and these technologies are going to change how finances are going to be managed and appropriated in the next 3 to 5 to 10 years. So those are the three: 2015, leaving corporate America; 2018, walking away from the broken and corrupt medical system because it's not managing wellness; it's managing illness. And I always say this: I don't take away 100% from the medical industry. It has its time, it has its place. When I'm passing a kidney stone, give me that morphine, baby, because I don't want to go through that pain.
Yeah.
But I didn't have to be on metformin for 25 years. I didn't have to be on all those other medications. It started out with metformin, then it went to the second, the third, the fourth, the fifth. And then they wanted to put me on a sixth. And my father passed away from type 2 diabetes, heart disease, a or below the knee amputation, and on 12 medications. And that's all I saw was
Wow.
they're leading me down that pathway. And so those are the three moments.
Wow, wow. Very good. We always focus on self-awareness leads to self-development, self-development leads to self-mastery.
Right.
And so when you are self-aware, you can be proactive rather than reactive because
Exactly.
you get you know yourself and you're
Right.
just like, okay. And when you think about it, it's not a cliche. When we talk about being the CEO of your life,
Mhm.
we're talking about high level decision making. We're
Exactly.
talking about knowing who to put in your boardroom. Who do you need to have around you that's going to advise you when, whether it's personal advice, whether it's career advice, business advice, financial advice. You need to be the CEO. CEOs think from a high level place, and not only do they think about the present, they they evaluate the
Yeah.
past, they look at the present and they are projecting into the
Project.
future. That's why we
Absolutely.
want you to have that CEO mindset. And so I love it when you talked about you had to set back and say, okay, well, where's this coming from? So you were being proactive.
Exactly.
We talk about that all the time. We say assess, address,
Address.
and move forward, right? So that's why we create those journals. When we publish those books, we have those journals. Why? So that you can have the time to process
Yeah.
and evaluate it, so that you can come up with strategies and methodologies that are going to be personal for you and can be helpful to others, but so that you can navigate through this thing called life, that you're not
Exactly.
stuck in struggles and things like that. So I love it. And I did want to tap into the stress levels that you were experiencing, because people don't understand in software you got to stay current. You got to stay current with the
Right.
language, which language, which, all of that design work.
Yeah.
And then once you come up with one product, and one set of code, it's now you don't finish this project, but now that's behind because that technology is old, because they're advancing so fast, because they're looking at building revenue. So it's not about that we're advancing so fast. It's just like, okay, this product has now tapered down in its sales, and now we got to come up with something new because we need new revenue coming in, new profit coming in. And so that sped up on you guys, leaving from the 90s into the
Exactly.
2000s. It went from oh, I know this because I lived in a household with software and a software engineer, and knowing that Java, C++, all of those languages that you had to stay current with, and that's a lot.
It
And
is.
writing code is a lot. So the stress level and the demand on your performance, it escalated in a major way coming
Oh
out of
yeah.
the
When
90s.
when you're managing 12 to 13 projects and they're all different platforms, that is a lot of stress. And I dealt with that for decades at a 10 plus level. But once I got my gut health back in, got off the medications, that stress level came down to a level 1, and it's been like that since August of 2019.
Mm.
And it's been a game changer for sure.
Yeah. Just yeah, I just wanted to iterate the how that escalated, and it's understandable that you could drive in. And again, it's also too, we talk about this on TCS Consulting, POS, perceived organizational support. If the employee does not feel like the organization really supports them and sees what they're going through and provides the resources to help them cope, and not only cope but to thrive in this kind of environment, it does have an adverse effect.
It does.
We've all embraced fearlessness through our lives, right? we're, we're we're all sometimes our own superheroes, but fearless through our lives. What was the journey for you on self-discovery?
Yeah, so I struggled a lot with self confidence, and having that mindset of being of value. And it came up, it came down. So, but for me, self confidence, often elusive, I say, is the cornerstone of personal growth and success. And after I left corporate America, was that I found that too many people grapple, with this self doubt and fear failure. Um, and I could possibly say almost 99, if not 100% of the people that I've talked to since leaving corporate America and doing what I'm doing, we've broached that subject. So, and the weight of the societal expectations and fear of judgment from others, that was a huge thing. And I think that's a huge thing for most people. I'm not the only one feeling that. But now that more and more people are getting out there and talking about mental health, so forth and so on. But the really first pivotal change for me was that self-love, being able to accept who I am, and what I'm all about and what I'm doing, because you know what? It doesn't matter. It doesn't matter about the people that don't like me or don't approve what I'm doing. I know what I'm doing is value to me, and there are others out there who value who I am and what I have to offer, and you know what I'm doing. And that's the most important, because you can't please everybody. And I think that for so long it was, yes, I'll do this, and yes, okay, I'll take a step back, and I won't say anything because I don't want to hurt somebody's feelings. Well, you know what? You have to be authentic. You have to share who you are, what your feelings are, and not that you want to hurt them, but I have my right to my feelings, and they have their right to their feelings. And we share that, and that's where you grow relationships and understand empathy, so forth and so on. So that self love was number one. And then the next thing was getting comfortable being in my uncomfortable zone.
Mhm.
That was a major um, step for me, because we grew up, go to school, get good grades, get a good education, graduate and go find a nice, safe, secure job and be in a box for 40 years and retire happy. Well, that stuff ain't working. And so getting into that, stepping into that comfort zone was, and the first one was leaving corporate America. I was, taken back by that. I never quit a job like that. But over the last 10 years, stepping in that uncomfortable zone is where growth happens.
Yes.
It's where you start to experience, and it opens up the doors to so many possibilities. And then again, you take a step back and you look at it and you say, you know what? That wasn't as hard as I thought it would be. It was
Yes.
easy. So we get away from those fears, and they lessen and lessen. And I would say now, it's not that I'm totally not getting into my uncomfortable zone. I'm still getting into that, but it's easier to manage and get into, because I think, okay, I did it leaving corporate America, I did it leaving the Western medicine, I did it with the finances. Now I need to do it with this. So I'm going to learn something from it. So I know going into that, I'm going to learn something and come out even better on that side. And
Yes.
then it's about embracing your authentic self. And I felt that I wasn't authentic for many, many years. I was in fear. I doubted myself. And that's where that non authentic comes from. But today, I'm put here for a reason. I know that now. And I've got something to give, I've got something to share, I've got something to do to make an impact. And that's where my burning desire comes from, and pursuing with what I'm doing today, because there are so many people who are sick and tired of being sick and tired, that they're in this bubble here, and they're wanting to break out. There's got to be something out there that's different, that will help me, that will get me to the next level in my life, to whatever that may be.
Right.
And that's where I'm coming more true to myself with regards to this amazing life journey that I've been on for the last 10 years, since 2015.
Oh, amazing, amazing. I love it. I love it. And we can talk forever and go on, and I love it that all of our viewers can see you also too throughout the year on It's Your Life, Own It, in the author's corner when you special show up, in the author's corner, international best-selling author, international speaker. Excited about that. You are one of our Own It X speakers this year. Excited to have you here for that. Listen, you are all about embracing new ways to true wealth in the modern world. What does that really mean? And how can people find out more beyond this interview? How can people connect with you and find out more?
Great question. And I started, I formed Abundance and Optimum Wellness, which is I'm the CEO and the founder of that company. And it all started out with the journey of health, because I was on that journey, health of the gut microbiome, the gut brain heart axis. And I came to the the phrase of that I believe we all should be living a life of abundance and optimum wellness physically, mentally, emotionally, spiritually, and financially. All right. And I do have my own TV series. And I talked about physical, mental, emotional, spiritual, but not finances. And that was the missing piece in my formula. And I struggled with that for the first couple of years, but that changed in 2022 when I ventured out onto that financial side. So true wealth isn't just about money, because a lot of people say, well, true wealth. What's holistic? What's true wealth? How do they relate? Well, holistic true wealth, or true wealth, I say it's the combination. True wealth, when you are fit physically, mentally, emotionally, spiritually, and financially, that's true wealth to me. And more people are resonating with that, because if you're not healthy, your mind isn't right. If you're mentally unstable, or if you're, I should say, struggling with mental health and challenges and stuff like that, you aren't thinking correctly, and then it throws off your emotions, and then your spirituality, and then you can't function properly to make decisions from a financial perspective. So that is where the true wealth comes in. And when you're walking in one's authentic self, it's a lifelong journey marked by triumphs and trials. And it's a matter of going through those triumphs, but also you're going to go through trials and tribulations. But again, that's where you learn through your uncomfortable zone.
Yes.
And, once walking in your true authentic self, then you really can pursue and share your passion. And that's what I'm doing today, because I truly believe that from the bottom of my heart, we all should. I mean, we were put here by the grace of God to have a life and thrive. And so people can really find me on all social media, outlets, from Facebook, Instagram, LinkedIn, TikTok. I have my own website. Everything is Jeffrey E. Berger. You look for that. You look for the bald dude in the pictures on my profiles and stuff, and you'll find me. And that's where they can reach out. I do 5 monthly webinars with regards to the future of wealth, a digital revolution. We're in a digital revolution, and this is where true wealth is really going to um, grow exponentially, because of the technologies that are being developed today that are changing the world 3 to 5 to 10 years down the road. And I highly encourage people to um, step into their uncomfortable zone and just start learning day by day. You don't have to jump into it full fledged, because I share this story. I was approached as a software engineer in 2009 to purchase 500 Bitcoin at 0.0017 cents. And my response was, I don't think so. It looks like a scam. Now they're predicting, well, Bitcoin is over $100,000 per coin. So if I had purchased those 500 Bitcoin, I'd probably be on a beach eating bonbons today.
Knowledge is power.
Right.
Knowledge
Yeah.
applied is powerful. And so, just like you said, it's, so you guys have to connect with Dr. Berger, get connected and stay connected with him. Join his webinar so that you become educated in what's coming, what's here, and what's coming in the digital world. And so, Dr. Berger, I just want to say thank you so very much. It has been a pleasure. Also, too, again, he is a triple cover feature. He is on the cover of Own It magazine. He is also on the cover of Lifestyles and Leisure Living, and also our Literacy Awareness magazine, Lit. And so we just want to say thank you so very much. And he is handsome, so check him out, because when he takes that hat off, you can see just how handsome he is. And so we just want to say thank you. There you go. There you go. So handsome. And so we just want to say thank you so very much for tuning in. Please make sure that you get connected and stay connected with Dr. Berger throughout this year and beyond. Thank you so very much. We are out.
Bye, everyone. Thank you.